Liverpool v. everybody. We're back. Liverpool 2, Watford 0. I got Jamz on today. Jamz, how you feeling, man?
All good. Happy.
Good. So, as we usually do, man, lineups.
Yeah.
I know when I saw it, I thought, great, cool. Rotating a little bit. I know there were some people shouting out for Naby. Three 90 minutes in a row. I don't know. I mean, you could have brought him on for an hour, maybe taking him off. But when you saw the starting 11, what'd you think?
I was a bit surprised. I think, I don't know. I think playing the weakest team in the Premier League by point-wise anyway, being at home, I thought maybe Klopp would continue rotating the front three. I'm happy he didn't, but I thought he might do, considering we've got, I know we're not really going to play the first time against Villa, but the FIFA club on, I think it's Thursday or Wednesday, and then on the weekend, we've obviously a flight to the Middle East. So, yeah, I thought maybe it would be Mane's turn to start. They kind of seem to be rotating it. But, yeah, that was cool. Yeah, I would have liked to saw Naby, but like you said, 2 90 minutes in a row. Is it 2 or is it 3 now? It's 2, isn't it?
It would have been 3. It would have been 3 now.
Yeah, it would have been 3. And, Shaqiri also is played well against Everton. You can't then drop him for 2 games in a row. So, Ox as well. So, it's a good headache. But, yeah, I thought it was nice. It was good.
Yeah, it's nice that we got those guys actually ready and fit to go. Milner, I had a post-match video and I brought something up and I want to bring it to your attention and get your opinion. And we probably talked about this before, but the next I think position we really need to be scouting or looking forward to bringing in to me as a fullback. I think
Same.
It's very obvious that and I love Gomez and Milner, but it's very obvious when either one of them are playing in the left or right fullback respectively that we're losing a bit. And it sounds crazy because, look, to me, we controlled this game from beginning to end. Could have had more goals. I said 5-0. We could have had that. It's 2-0. Yeah. We'll take it. But we are losing a bit, I think, in my opinion on that. But Gomez, look, right at home, center back next to Virgil van Dijk. What was your opinion on Gomez today?
Yeah, man. I think Joe Gomez, I think at the beginning of the season, he wasn't, 100%, and we saw a few shaky performances. But I think at centre-back, he is the future with Van Dijk. I think, did you see that burst of pace he got?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. And I know we've seen it in the past.
He looked like he was having fun. And
man. Man. He's quick. He's a ball-playing centre-back. He likes the ball at his feet. He's comfortable. He'll do a step over with someone behind him and then drop a shoulder and beat them. And, oh, yeah, man. So, personally, Joe Gomez is better than Matic. It's just, it's hard because Matic didn't put a foot wrong. And I'd say the one thing Matic has over Gomez is the goal threat. Matic's like an aerial / goal threat in both positions. But, yeah, man, Joe Gomez is a superb centre-back. I think sometimes we criticise him because he's not a good right-back at all, I don't think. I think Gomez... And I think the problem with Liverpool is our fullbacks are so goddamn good that...
That's the thing.
That's what they get compared to,
Yeah.
If Joe Gomez...
Which is really unfair to expect Milner or Gomez to play as good as Robertson. That's just crazy.
That's it. You look at Wan-Bissaka for Man United. He's getting all the praise in the world, and that's because he just defends. He can defend. Joe Gomez can do a similar job for us at right back. That's all you want from your right back. To just defend. That's fine. But we want our right backs to ping it 80 yards, to switch to play at 60 yards, to drop a shoulder and cut in. And that's because we have 2 world-class fullbacks. So, I agree with you. I don't think Milner should be a left back. I think I don't think that's the case. I think we should go out and get either 2 excellent fullbacks or 1 versatile excellent fullback who can do both. Yeah.
I mean, a guy who's maybe both-footed and know that he'll just come in for a spell for both guys will be good. Listen, I think at some point Klopp is thinking the same thing we're thinking. I was happy to see. Listen, I'm glad to see Robinson or him attempt to give Robinson a break.
Yeah.
But it was nice to see him come on and then push Milner up a little bit further.
Yeah.
It just made me feel a bit more comfortable. And again, we got to talk about Watford players because, as I said in my post-match, I can see why they're where they are. They had, in that first half, bro, Amali Sarr and the brother Decore, how are they missing those chances?
I know.
I'm glad they missed them, but that just shows you why they're so bad this season because they can't finish in front of goal.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
those two chances are going to come back. They might have nightmares about that. That was
Definitely.
atrocious. That was
Yeah.
atrocious. But other than that, I think for me, in my opinion, Allison is man of the match.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
Same.
mean, incredible. And again, it's signings like that just show you that this team is just so complete. Because
Yeah.
that season when we went to the Champions League and all that. Obviously, Karius did all he could do. He had some games where he was decent, and we were probably here talking about it before. But Allison is just that complete, the last piece of the puzzle, man. And you
Definitely.
need to keep a world-class keeper to come up in games like this, because I always say it, as bad as Watford has been, that might have been their best performance.
Yeah.
Every team we play, they're going to give us I don't care if it's, we saw what happened with Brighton. I don't care if it's Brighton, Watford, whoever it is. They're going to give Liverpool their best shot. And
Yeah.
they did that
Yeah,
today.
yeah. Definitely. We are every team's biggest game of the season.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Whether it's home or away.
yeah, whether it's home or away, we are everyone's cup final, and they had a new manager. You get that feeling. A new manager comes in. Let's give him our everything. And they were up for it. And to be honest, if I wasn't a Liverpool fan, I'd probably say they maybe deserved a point from it.
Yeah.
Coming away from home and breaking our team down the way they did to make chances. But it's just the way it is. This is what winners do. And I agree. Alisson is definitely my man of the match. But I just, we have to give homage to some brilliance by Salah for both goals, and I'm hoping.
We're gonna get on Salah.
Yeah.
Get on Salah.
Carry on before I jump the puzzle. Keep going.
But I guess.
Oh yeah. We won't rush to Salah, but I agree. I think Alisson, like you said, for me it's the one-on-one saves. That, he makes himself look big like a spider, and he's just so compact, so composed, and I feel like that confidence, it starts from him and it rallies up to the team, to the top, which it didn't always do in the last when we had Adrian. Adrian would sometimes worry the whole team. Whereas Alisson, you feel so confident.
The question I'm curious to ask you is the early kickoffs there, because I'm just ignorant to it. I know we talked about this before, you and me, and I'm just wondering, why is it that that it's so quiet? In my opinion, I mean, surely when we got some momentum, we got some goals.
Yeah.
But why is it that it's so quiet that time of the day?
I think it's a few things. I think when you're playing at 12 o'clock, people aren't drinking alcohol. I think that definitely it's in the grounds in England in the Premier League. You can't drink beer in the ground. You can only drink beer at half time. So I think when you look, for instance, a Champions League night. When it's a Champions League night, you are drinking alcohol from when you finish work. So from 5 o'clock, you're knocking the beers back. Not everyone, obviously not, but I'd say maybe 60-70% of the adults are probably intoxicated. I think some of 60-70% of the fans are already 10 beers in or 8 beers in. So a bit more rowdy, a bit more noisier, a bit more louder. I'd say that's probably one of the things. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of, because it's still 12 o'clock. People are still been up 8 o'clock. Watford, people aren't kind of rallied up. If this was Manchester United at 12, I think it would still be a lot more louder, a lot more fierce. I noticed today the ball went out for a throw-in for the opposite team, and there was no abuse, which is nice to see. But it made me think of when it was Manchester United v Man City the other day, and the throwing of the coins. Was it Fred and the lighters, and so. I think there's zero rivalry. It should have been a walk in the park. It's against the lowest team in the league. It's early in the morning. I just think it was them type of things. I think we were kind of a bit sluggish.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we got the win. I'm always just curious because, to me, a 12 o'clock kickoff here for any sport, outside sport where a lot of fans are and it's noisy, I just feel like people would be up for it. Growing up, playing, sports and little league clubs and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I feel like it was almost louder there than it was at certain moments at Anfield. But I just always have been curious about that. But Salah, I think clearly he loves to score against his team. He loves to play against his team. And Salah looks like he's getting back to his form. And again, we're getting all these dudes. You know, Mane has been really, I don't want to say carrying us, but he's been kind of the best of the three. And to see Salah looking like he's getting back to form, I believe, I don't know how many goals that is, but I think, did he score in the Bournemouth game?
Who? Sorry, Salah.
Yeah, did Salah score in the Bournemouth game?
I'm trying to remember.
I know it was Keita.
Yeah, he
Ox.
did. I'm sure he did.
Okay. So.
Yeah, he did.
Looks like any type of issue we may have had with Salah as far as his form, looks like that might be out the window now. And that's just great for us. Great news for us. I thought we talked about Firmino and his form lately. I thought Firmino was good today, actually. Without scoring a goal, I thought he was really good with his tenacity, fighting guys for the ball, making passes. So I was pleased with the front three in general today, even though only Salah had 2 goals. But yeah, I thought we did pretty good back to front. No real complaints. So now we can rest up and go to Qatar and look forward to seeing them perform there. Is there any other good games on this weekend?
Yeah, so Arsenal v Man City.
That's tomorrow, though, right?
Oh yeah, that's tomorrow. Today, all the other Premier League games. I'll read them. We've got Burnley, Newcastle. We've got Chelsea, Bournemouth. We got, to be honest, the big one, if you want to be a little bit, is Leicester Rich.
Okay.
Just they're playing right now. It's 0-0. It's just kicked off.
Okay.
So yeah, I doubt anything will happen. To be honest, I think Leicester will probably win that. Yeah, and then there's West Ham v Southampton. Tomorrow there's some big games, but today, no, that's it today. Tomorrow there's Tottenham and Wolves and stuff.
Is there anything about the performance today that gave you any concerns? I feel like pretty much a professional win.
Okay, so Wijnaldum's concerned me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
So I hope I'm wrong. It looked like it was maybe a little hamstring. You know, as soon as he went down, there was no getting up. He held the back of his leg, and we've kind of been not lucky with injuries, but we haven't had a hamstring, a little niggle, you know, except for Fabinho. So I was thinking, I hope not. But if he is out for, let's just say, even 2 weeks is massive now because it's winter.
Bro, let's Jamz. Let's be real. If it's a hamstring, he's going to spend some serious time out. If it's a hamstring, it's going to be at least 2 weeks.
At least, right? You know. So anything. The fact that he didn't even try to stay on, the fact that straight away he grabbed his leg, and that, you know, that worries me. That makes me think he's probably most definitely out of the semi-final on Wednesday or Thursday. You know, and then, you know, the final on Saturday, Sunday, he's probably out of that. I don't know. What do you think about that? You know?
No, I'm glad you brought that up because I'll be honest, I totally forgot about that until you mentioned it. I totally forgot about Gini going off. So I'm looking to see what Klopp says in the post match. I haven't heard his post match yet, but that's you know, obviously we can't afford any injuries anywhere, and luckily in the midfield we got Naby back, obviously Ox.
Yeah.
And if we want to do Shaqiri in a 4-2-3-1, we can do that. So, yeah, when guys start grabbing the back of their thigh, man, I just start thinking, you know what, that's going to be at least 2 weeks out. The hamstring, man, that's a serious knock right there. So, I think first of all, I'll say I'm hoping the best, obviously, but I think if it's the worst, we can put guys in and we'll be fine. Yeah. It's just unfortunate to see another guy go down like that. I mean, and that's just, you know, football in general. A lot of hammies that's going to happen to all teams. It's not good. It's not good, and you're right. It's funny that he couldn't even like run it off. It was just like something. Now maybe let's hope that because I don't even remember how that. You know, when he came, I don't remember seeing him when he came off necessarily. So maybe it's a situation where Klopp is thinking, let's just not risk it, and maybe it's not that bad, but I'm thinking it's going to be pretty bad.
Yeah.
The Lovren thing, I'm curious to know what you think about that, because part of me thinks, and hindsight is, you know, part of me thinks Gomez should have started in the Salzburg game anyway.
Yeah.
To say that now, but, you know, because You bring Lovren off. Klopp was saying, "Oh, it's not that big of a deal. He'll be able to play." He comes on in the game and then he goes back off again. And we know Lovren. Usually when he goes off, he's gonna be out for a minute.
Yeah.
So that's another issue. So now it's like we got 2 fit center backs, and we might have to go to Keanu Hoover, maybe. I mean, hopefully not. But so it's not the best time to be having knocks. But look, again, I think that's why you look at the team and you think, damn, okay, we got guys that are back, and you know who knows? Maybe, hopefully he's good by January, of course. But I'm curious to know what you think about this new signing, because we haven't spoken here on the Hangout about that. So
cool.
What are you expecting? I mean, do you think Klopp was thinking? Because for me, it's like, one, he's really cheap. He's a good player. He's young, but also I'm wondering if he just thinks, I need a little bit of a spark. I don't want to go as far as saying he needs a Coutinho replacement, which I know everybody wants to say that, and you know and that could be his thinking too. But I just think we might be seeing him maybe sooner than we thought. What are your thoughts on Minamino?
So before we played them this season, I'd never heard of him, if I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen him play maybe about 360 minutes. I've seen him play twice against Liverpool, and maybe I think I watched him against Napoli. And then I've watched some YouTube videos on him as of this week. I think it's a decent signing. He's 24, 25, so he's not like an up-and-coming youngster. He is entering his good ages now.
That's true.
And I think taking away from football as an Asian player, we've never really tipped into that market. We've never had a Kagwa or a Park Yi-sung or, that's interesting as a Liverpool to have someone like that. What does that do to our fan base there? But as an actual footballer, I'm not 100% sure. I think, like you said, because it's cheap, is that why we're doing it? Because, I don't know. We've got Shaqiri. Does that mean Shaqiri goes? Does that mean we don't?
Yeah, but Jamz, we can't. You told me we can't really be worried about that. Like, that's, it's the club, and if it's the best for the club, then listen. I think Klopp rates Shaqiri. I really do, and I think we're gonna see a lot of Shaqiri from here on out. I don't think these little glimpses we've seen is the end of him. I think we'll see him starting a lot of games because Klopp has to do it. He cannot run these dudes into the ground, and that's why he's building on the team. Listen, I think Minamino is good for that whole market thing too. Getting the Asian fans on board, and we'll probably be touring there at some point sooner than later, I'm sure. To get him that cheap though, when he's really probably worth, they say, treble that. 20, 24, 25 maybe.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, and to me, people were talking about Haaland and things like that, but to me, it was the 2 Asians that were looking the best in both legs. So there's talk about Wolves trying to get Huang or whatever his name is. I think his name is Huang. So I think it's a great signing. Obviously, the number is good, and it seems like Liverpool have been watching him way before these games against them in the group stage. So I think it's a good sign. I think it's a guy who can just give us some energy. He can run all day. Yeah. He speaks 4 or 5 different languages, so that won't be a problem. But I think, again, we've seen what Klopp has done with players. We've seen how long it took Robertson to get him. See how long it took Naby, Fab, and all that. But I think with this guy, he got him in thinking, because he's already fit. He doesn't have any injury issue. He's already been playing. You know what I mean? I know.
Cup tie over.
Now the thing, I'll let you go. Go ahead.
There's no cup tie.
Yes, so that's big too.
He can come in the Champions League straight away.
I love that they changed that. But my thing is, like, I think Klopp is going to use him probably sooner than we think. But it wouldn't be a surprise if he didn't because of what he's done with other players. But I just think he could be a really, really good spark for the team. We got a lot of games to play, and I think he'll fit in fine. Go ahead.
So I am happy that we've got it. It's exciting. I just like new players coming in. It's exciting. I think, like you said, financially it's a no-brainer. We'll make that money. That's just pennies, If you think about it, I'm sure we sold Karius for 8 mil. So,
Well, even Kev Stewart was about that.
Yeah.
So I mean, this team is just really slick with their movements, man, and I love that. And I just love the fact that it was really just out of the blue. Like, we always sitting back thinking, man, this is a hell of a player. but we never thought we'd get him. You know, and if he can just come in and, you know, you already got Son at Tottenham, and, you know, the Asians are hopefully this is the showing of how, you know, how good that market can be and how good those players can be. So it maybe could be his kind of Kagawa that he had. I just think there's going to be some exciting things coming with this player, and I hope I'm right. And the thing is, it's a low risk, high reward. It's a little bit more than $7 million. If he ends up being a bust, which I don't think will happen, then it's not like you're really losing too much. You know what I mean?
Yes, definitely.
So
what I think it might be the end for Harry Wilson.
Yeah, I know you hate saying that too.
Yeah, I'm not happy about it.
Come on, let it out, man, let it out.
Yeah, I just, you know, there's too many at the moment. I think these type of players. He's doing well. He's got 6 league goals. He's their highest goal scorer. But I just think, you know, he doesn't as much.
Is he the highest goal scorer
for Bournemouth? Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
that's not bad. He's not even starting every game. That's pretty big. That's pretty big.
And we will get good money for him. I do believe we will get 30-40 mil for him. You know, he was just as important as Mason Mount was last season.
Good point.
So, you know, Derby built their team on them 2 players. So, you know, and Harry Wilson would obviously be better in a stronger team. I just think he probably doesn't have all the qualities, all around qualities at the moment to be part of the best team in the world. And that's what we are now. We're the best team in the world, probably. So,
Thank you.
You know, if you're 23, if we're buying a 23-year-old, we're looking at Sancho's. We're looking at, you know, the best 23-year-olds in world football. So I no doubt we'll put a buyback clause in just in case he does like a Pogba and becomes a great player, or, you know, a Gnabry or whatever. But yeah, I think he will probably Bournemouth will probably buy him off us, to be honest. And we've skanked Bournemouth a lot with Solanke, Brad Jones, Jordan Ibe. So maybe we owe them a good player.
We've made a lot of money from them.
Yeah,
well, we'll talk about Klopp in the 2024 thing because we haven't spoken since then. But on that, did you hear what Klopp said about Harry Wilson in terms of, yes, we basically was saying we know his quality from set pieces and things like that, and not all his goals will come from set pieces, but most of them have.
Yeah.
And so Klopp was pretty much saying we know that about him, but we're trying to trying to see other aspects of his game, and we hope that him being at Bournemouth, we can see that. So, and I think that's true. I don't want to knock Harry Wilson. Obviously, he's been doing his thing. You bigged him up, and I'll be honest, I kind of was sleeping on him, but I can see what he can bring. But it does feel like he probably won't make it in the team. Not because he's not good enough. Not because he's not good enough. But it's just feeling like we're so stacked at this point that I don't know if he's. Again, I got to see his work. I should probably try to tune in more to Bournemouth games, but I need to see his work rate in general because he's more of is he a winger for them?
Yeah,
his position. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, he's definitely not going to be, you know, coming in for Salah and Mane. I mean, maybe as a relief, but you know, obviously you have Shaqiri and this Millamino guy. I don't even know what Klopp really sees for him. If he sees him as a 10, is he going to play in a 4-2-3-1? So that'll be exciting to see what he actually sees in this player. Yeah. I feel like we're getting a player who can play in several different positions.
Yeah.
So I mean, people have been saying that he can be like a Firmino reliever, which I don't really know if I see that. But
yeah, I've read that, but
he's very lightweight, though. He's very lightweight.
Yeah, and apparently he's the start of their press as well.
What I want to ask you, because people have been saying they're worried about him playing in a league like the Premier League, coming from the Austrian Bundesliga. But what I say to that is, he's played good twice against the best team in England, arguably the best team in Europe. So what else do you need to see? In my opinion.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know what when people say you're not. People used to always say, you know, the Premier League, you have to be strong, you have to be physical. That's changing a lot. Some of the best players in the Premier League.
Yeah, I think that's a myth, man. That's a myth now.
Players like Son, you know, they're not strong players. If you can make up with it with agility, then you're fine. Now, you know, obviously our wingers are quite strong. Mane and Salah are actually both quite strong, but
they are surprisingly,
yeah, they are both surprisingly strong. But there's lots of attacking players in the Premier League that make up for it by having good agility. Rashford's starting to find his feet, but Son is probably a prime example. He's very weak, but if you can get yourself in and out of positions, then it's no problem. And I also think the Premier League isn't full of hard men like it used to be. You know, it's not full of Gerrards, Roy Keanes. It's not you're not getting clanked out all the time now. It's becoming a lot more skillful. So yeah, I think that's a bit of a myth.
Yeah, that's the least of my concerns. And honestly, look, I love to be proven wrong, but I just don't have any concerns with this guy. I just think that when Michael Edwards and Klopp decide on a dude, I trust it, and they've proven me. Well, I don't think I've doubted any of the signings really, so I can't say they proved me wrong. But the scouting and what the fact that they've been looking at this dude for a minute, and the fact that apparently players have come to Klopp and say, "Hey, man, this dude." But the whole time, Klopp was already thinking about getting him, so I'm sure he got a giggle out of that. But it's just good that they had their eyes on someone, and I didn't know if we'd go for someone in January, and the fact that we're going for an attacking player of that caliber in my mind is pretty good. But let's move on to Klopp. Like I said, we haven't spoken about it. 2024, man. Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm absolutely over the world. I think Klopp's the best signing Liverpool have made in my lifetime in 26 years. If we were to lose anyone in the world, I'd rather it be any player than to lose Klopp. It'd kill me if we lost Mane or Van Dijk, but we can't do. I think unless the manager is the philosophy, the manager is the tactician, the manager is the person who finds players for like 8 mil or from the scout like Trent and is creating world class from the back front. I think he's the best manager in the world. I think we have the best team in the world, and I think this season he might go on and become the second best manager to ever be in the Premier League after Ferguson. If you look at what he's doing at the moment, he is, he is breaking records every single weekend. You look at now, we are on course, I read, for 108 Premier League points. Mathematically, if we reflect the first half of the season, that's what we're going to get. Unbeaten, I think it's now 34 games unbeaten. We're closing on the record of 49. At Anfield, we haven't lost since 16-17. Chelsea are the only team to have better at home as a record. We are breaking so many records, back-to-back European finals. Everything, I just think he's an absolute genius. And when you think about the fact that we haven't been bought by some Arabs that are throwing billions at the club.
It's crazy.
It's absolutely crazy. It's crazy.
I mean, you could say we're doing it the quote unquote the right way. I mean,
definitely.
Sure. Now, remember, not too long ago, somebody tried to come in and buy us, and they were like, "Nah."
Yeah.
And at the time, I was thinking, "Nah, you got to take that." But we're doing things the right way. And again, this is why I don't get why Klopp isn't mentioned as far as best managers. I just don't understand it because he doesn't come into, a large amount of funds. He didn't do it at Dortmund. He made that team. And I think that's part of the reason why he said, let me extend this because I'm building something here. And he made it clear that he's not done with his building process. This is just the beginning. Winning that Champions League is just the beginning. We got the Super Cup. And I just think that he sees like, look, I'm doing some beautiful things here. Let me not just let it go now. Because you couldn't really be mad at a manager for saying, okay, I won the Champions League. If I won the league this year, let me just go ahead and be done. For some managers, that's all they need. And I'll take a sabbatical and maybe go get the German job or whatever. Because let's be real. At this point, Klopp is a hot commodity, man. If he wanted to go anywhere, Juventus, they'd get sorry out of there right now.
Anywhere.
You know what I mean? So, how blessed are we, Jamz, to have this dude staying for another 4 or 5 years? I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, we're talking dynasty stuff here now. I mean, I know people might hear this and think, "Oh, you're getting a little ahead of yourself," but no, I see it. I see it. What he's doing with this team, and I got to big up City because it's really Pep and City and the standard they set with their team that really got you're getting a whole new animal out of this team, Liverpool now, because we know what it takes to win it, and it's almost like we have no room for error. We can't lose a game. I mean, surely we can, and we'll be fine, but the mentality is like, no. Each game at a time, win every game. Yeah. Especially in the Premier League. So, I mean, we're just really fortunate, man, because this guy is doing some amazing things at Liverpool, and we have him for another 4 or 5 years. I mean, it's unbelievable. And this week has just been incredible. One good after the other. The signing, then Klopp, then Milner. I mean, Milner obviously being definitely the third, biggest thing. But
we'll get onto that. We'll get onto that in a minute.
But it's just It's just great. I'm just so proud to be a Liverpool supporter in general, but especially now. And it's just what we're doing. But I love that you brought up the whole thing about the money because again, we didn't get this flux of cash or there's no Russian mob or oil money that's coming in. So you got to commend them on that.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with Klopp isn't the football that he plays because managers can play superb football. He's definitely plays superb football, but like Pep, for instance, plays great football too. For me, what makes Klopp the best manager in the world and one of the greatest of the last 2 decades is his vision of talent. Now, when he was at Dortmund, I remember them making Champions League finals. I think they made one final, one semi, and they won 2 titles. And I didn't know any of their players till they became superstars. He bought Lewandowski, he bought Götze Royce, he bought Hummels, he bought Aubameyang, Milan. I think he bought Aubameyang. He bought Gundogan, he bought Mkhitaryan. These were all, these were small-time players when he brought them. These were all players. Marco Reus, all of these players cost 15 mil or less. He was getting Hummels. All of these players were cheap players. And I remember thinking, this must be fluky. He's just getting one after the other, and they all become. And Bayern Munich were just stealing them all. That was the problem, and it must have been horrible for him. It was Bayern Munich, Man United. Remember, he had Kagwa, then Man United came in, Mkhitaryan, Man United came in, Lewandowski, Bayern Munich came in, Hummels, Bayern Munich came in, and I remember thinking, this guy's a genius. Like, what the fuck is he doing? He's going to these scouts, and he's finding world beaters, and then he's come to Liverpool, and he's done the exact same. When Hull got relegated. All my friends were laughing at me. How are you getting this Robertson kid? His team got relegated. 8 mil. He's shit. Even when we got Salah, I wasn't that happy because Arsenal bought Lacazette for 50 mil. Chelsea bought Morata for 70 mil. Lukaku went to Man United for 65 mil. And we bought a Chelsea reject for 34 mil, 37 mil. And I remember thinking, oh man, Salah, I don't know, man. He's only at Roma's level. And he blew me away. Sadio Mane at Southampton. None of the top teams wanted Sadio Mane, really. He was from Southampton. He wasn't the next big thing. He's gone out 32 million, and he's probably one of the best players in the world after Messi. So, he constantly gets it right, and I think that's, for me, why he's the best manager in the world. And the reason I'm not surprised he's staying longer is now he is seeing the fruits of his labour. Lots of other teams would have got rid of him. It was hard going to the Europa League final to Seville after beating Dortmund and United, after being 1-0 up. That was so hard to take when we didn't get top 4. Losing the League Cup final to City on penalties, that was hard to take. The Madrid was obviously the hardest for all of us, because I kind of felt like, well, this only happens every 10 years. For a team like if you're not Madrid and Barcelona, to make the Champions League final, you do it and then that's it for a few more years, And for to bounce back from that is immense. And then you look last season, we did everything right. 97 points, 1 loss, and what we lost the league by 1 point. And you now look at us, champions of Europe. We're going to win the Premier League, and it's like, why would you want to go anywhere else? The only thing you can get at Barcelona, Madrid, maybe, is possibly a bit more money. But why? You look at the team that you're building; it's incredible. It's the best team in the world, and it's only going to get better. You look at Naby, you look at Fabinho, you look at Trent, Robertson. Wherever they're going to be in 2-3 years' time, how good would they become? Salah, Mane, and Firmino. This is their prime peak now. Then this is it now. So I just feel like there's nowhere else to go. He's at the best club in the world. This is his club. He's one of the fans. And I think other football fans will just sit there with jealous and envy, the way we used to with Man United, or Barcelona and stuff like that. So yeah.
Have you ever considered being a minister?
I wish.
Yeah, when I add your name to who's featured on the videos, I'm gonna start saying Minister Jamz. Yo, you just preach the gospel. No, seriously. Everything I was enjoying listening to all that, and you're so right about everything, man. I mean, where else would he go? Where else would he go? Yeah. I mean, you said you hit on so many different points there, but and that segues me to this. Now, Bundesliga is obviously different from the Premier League. Bayern is just top ranking pretty much every year. This year, there's a bit of a title race. You got Gladbach. You got some other German team trying to creep up, and they might get something in that season. But to me, it's always, Bayern, maybe Borussia Dortmund. So my question to you is, as good as we've been doing with scouting players, at some point, we win the league this year and the Champions League. Let's just imagine a perfect world. At some point, Salah, Mane, they might want to just try a different situation.
Of course.
Let me test myself. So, I guess my question is, are you confident that Klopp will be able to retool, and we can just keep rocking, keep going forward? Because obviously with Borussia Dortmund, he had guys like Lewandowski. What's the other guy who had the great World Cup and then he rolled out?
Götze.
Yeah, Götze. So are you pretty confident that whether we lose guys or not, Klopp will be able to retool and we'll be fine?
Well, I think the difference between Liverpool and Dortmund is obviously we are financially, with the Premier League, you get a lot more money.
Yeah, that's true.
That's that. And I think if we are to lose a player, we're going to get a lot of money because of the years they've got left. If we lose Salah or Mane, it's 100 million plus. I think that's number one. I think that's the big difference between Dortmund and now.
And did you hear what you just said? That's incredible that, because I love what you. I'm sorry to cut you off, man, but I love what you said about teams buying Morata. Look at those guys now.
Yeah.
Who's a better player out of Lacazette, Morata, and Mo Salah? I think it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
So as much as we wanted Lacazette, when we see his performances and look, Arsenal is just they're going through their own little thing. But
yeah,
how nice is it to say that, man, we really wanted him, but I wouldn't want to touch Lacazette with a 100-foot pole at this point.
Yeah.
If he was free, I wouldn't want him. So again, Klopp just knew what he was doing. But how great is it to say that these players are going to flip over for $100 million? I mean, that's wild.
It's just crazy. If you're the owner, look at LeBron James. Didn't he put like 2% in or something?
Yeah, sure. You got share. Yeah.
Yeah. And now look at it. So, if anyone who's financially put a penny into Liverpool over the past 5-6 years, Klopp has made you, tripled your money. He's like he's bought a pot of land and under it there's gold. So, And so back to the question that you asked about if we were to lose, because it does go over my head a lot. Like you, Aaron, I've fallen in love with this team. This is my favourite Liverpool team of all time. Obviously, it's not even up for contention.
Easy.
The mix of culture, the players, the manager, the youth system, the captain, all of it. I love it, and I don't want no. If someone said to me, Jamal, you can't buy no one this summer, but there'll be no injuries, I'll be happy with that because I love the team. I don't want the team to change. I wouldn't swap Mane for Messi. I really wouldn't. I love it. I absolutely love my team. So,
Facts.
Yeah, the truth is, you hit the nail on the head. When Salah was a kid, when Mane was a kid, did they have pictures of Gerrard on the board? No. It was probably Ronaldinho. It was probably, Cristiano Ronaldo. They grew up with Madrid and Barca, as the front hub. So we have to be real now. No matter how much you win, like Cristiano Ronaldo did at Man United, he was winning everything. He was Ballon d'Or winning. He got tempted and went to Madrid. So I think what we need to do, what Klopp needs to do is we need, as good as we are now, we need to be looking at the next 2 steps. And the next 2 steps is Sancho. The next 2 steps is what's his name? The German kid for Bayern Leverkusen. What's his name?
Havertz.
Yeah, Havertz. We need to be keeping tabs on these players because what I don't want is you can't just lose Salah and then buy someone. It's good to get a player a year or two before and let them get.
That's the key. See, that's the key. Yeah. Because and here's the. Oh, go ahead. Finish.
No, go on.
And that's the thing. Like, you can't be. And I think that's where Liverpool is now. We can't be waiting because if at some point Salah or Mane does go, it would be nice to just have that guy waiting in the wings already on the squad. Now, look, that might be hard to do because, again, while you have these guys, you might be wondering where's Kai Havertz going to play? Where's the Sancho going to play? When is he going to play?
Yeah.
Where and when. But you need to build a squad. Nobody asked where,
Mahrez.
Yeah, or any of the. And Sane is probably going to leave in the summer. I wouldn't be surprised if he left. So, you can't be one. As fans, we got to just support and be like, look, we're adding to our team. Let Klopp worry about. Let him have the headache of where do I play this guy? Where do I play this dude? Mm-hmm. That's not really up to us. So, no, man, you're saying some good stuff, and I just think it's just so nice to see that Klopp extended his contract. And I would say it was a shock just because, not that he did it, but just the timing. Because I'm just getting over the news of getting a new player. Then I get on Twitter and we got that. Davis Milner, so I thought he would extend the contract. I just didn't know it would happen at this point.
Yeah,
So
I thought he would. Sorry, yeah, I thought he would. I was debating with my brother, and he's an Arsenal fan, so maybe he was kind of maybe he was envy in his answers. But he was saying, Klopp will want to leave on a high, and he might want to take a break. And part of me thought maybe, but then I just kept telling myself, like I said before, this is the fruits of his labour now. Why would you wave goodbye to almost the final product? You wanted Naby Keita for so long. You brought him a year early. Naby Keita's first season was almost robbed of him. The niggles and then the Barcelona injury. And the list goes on. You're seeing the best of the best now. And why leave? What for?
But here's the best. But here's the best thing, Jamz. Why quit on a team who has never quit on you?
Mm-hmm, definitely.
And that's the big thing. These players will die for this manager, literally.
Yeah.
And I mean, what kind of guy would he be to say, yeah, okay, but I got to go? No, this team has, and he said it. Yes, it's his managing, and that's probably the biggest percentage of what's happening. But the players have to do it on the pitch, and he's taken players that have been pretty much nobodies, and made them into world. I hate saying that made thing, but I think in this case, it's safe to say he's definitely tooled them up to be world-class players. I mean, Lovren gets his share amount of stick, but I mean, come on. I think a lot of teams in the league would love to have a Lovren right now. Let's be real.
Yeah.
So it's, and again, even when I say that, I wonder how good can a Salah be in a different system? How good can a Mane be in a different system? I don't know. I don't know.
Same.
But I'm just glad that we have them, and we're able to just really show the qualities in these players. But yeah, I think it was a no-brainer for Klopp, and again, I think he can't give up on this bunch right now because in 9 years it's okay, I've given, and that'll be his longest stint in which is what we all wanted, because we all were thinking maybe 7 and then he'll take a sabbatical and take the German job or whatever, just quit altogether.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's gonna go to 9 years, that's big. So again, man, I don't see any negatives in this game. And if he wanted to be petty, I'm sure there's things we can pick out in the game against Watford. But at the end of the day, it's about winning, and this team just keeps doing it, Jamz. I mean, they just keep doing it, and that's 3 games now in a row, 3 clean sheets, if I'm not wrong. Bournemouth, Salzburg, and Watford, right?
Yeah.
We were all calling for clean sheets. We were all calling for high scoring games. But if we're keeping clean sheets and getting wins, I'm happy with that.
Yes. It was important to win today because we don't play in the Premier League for a while now because we're away.
Is it 2 weeks or is it just the 1 week?
I think so. It's because we're not playing. It's our next game might be Boxing Day, which is Leicester.
Oh, wow.
Leicester are losing.
Are they losing? See, I'm not paying attention. Okay, so what's the score?
So Norwich are winning 1-0.
Is it Pookie? Pookie.
Yeah, Pookie scored.
How much time is left?
But it's just gone half an hour, 37 minutes in. So nearly half time. They're doing okay.
Okay.
This. I think if Leicester, I think we all think the title's won anyway. But I think if Leicester lose today, then it's game over. It's crazy. So it'll be a 1-horse race to the end.
Yeah, man. It's always good having you on, man. I love your insight and your knowledge on the game. Really appreciate you making time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you go now. But is there any last things you want to bring up?
No, I think that's everything. Milner, you happy with the business?
Yeah, Milner. Listen, we didn't talk about Milner. I wouldn't. I love Milner. I do. I feel like I don't really preface my comment by saying that, but I just want to make it clear that I do love everything he's done for the club. I wasn't incredibly happy. Like I see people on Twitter, and that's fine. People have their opinions, but I mean, it's cool. But I wasn't incredibly thrilled by that. I would have more so been more happier to see maybe Genie get an extension.
Yeah.
But again, I don't want to sound like a negative about it. It's just it definitely was, again, the third best news we can get, the signing and then Klopp and then Milner. It's cool. Look, listen, to have him around, I think what Klopp's thinking is, one, I think Klopp rates him way higher than any of us do, which is fine.
Yeah, he does.
But I just think his the dressing room personality, I think that helps a lot.
Mm-hmm.
because Milner is a guy that when he's on the pitch, you feel like we have three captains, especially if he's on the pitch with Van Dijk and Henderson. So it's a good signing. I mean, what were your thoughts when you saw it? I'm sorry, not good signing, but it's a good extension, I should say.
Yeah. I'm not as enthusiastic as lots of Liverpool fans with Milner.
Yeah.
Like me and Jerry have gone at each other about it because I know Jerry's a massive Milner fan, and some of my other Liverpool friends are. I'm not. For me, he's not good enough as a left back, and the fact that we choose to use him when we should go out and buy another left back annoys me.
And see that's kind of what worries me about this extension.
Yeah,
I feel like Klopp, because Klopp is a mad dude. Let's just be real. He's a mad. A lot of people put out against Everton. Yes, we won the game, but he's a mad scientist. Let's be real. Usually it works, but I just feel like he might be just cool with just keeping Milner as that auxiliary left back, which I don't want. Listen, I don't want to start doubting this team, and I don't doubt the team. I would just be happier knowing that when the lineup comes out, we have an actual proper left back to come in for Robertson.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. And right back too. So if it's the same dude or a different, whatever, if you get two fullbacks, cool, which is probably too much. If you can just get, like I said, if you can just one guy, left-footed, right-footed, can play both sides and knows that that's his job until maybe those guys go on. But yeah, I know I cut you off again. Sorry, but Milner is I don't like to use the word, but he's been a good servant. And he will be a good servant for the rest of his career at Liverpool, and I appreciate him very much. He's won with City once.
Yeah.
So you know it definitely helps to have guys like that in the team.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I just wasn't that thrilled. That's all I can say. I wasn't that thrilled about it.
I think you hit the nail on the head. I agree. I think hopefully, I just think he's probably got it more on the fact that he's a big player off the pitch. He's the vice captain.
Yes.
And he's won a Premier League before. He's probably like Henderson. He's probably bigger than Henderson. I think he's a lot more experienced than Henderson. And I think that's what he's got it. But honestly, I think we've got more younger talents in the midfield that I want to see more of. I like this kid Guric on loan. I'd like to see him come in. So I would have given him, I don't know, maybe 1 year, maybe his badges. Is there anywhere better to learn to be a manager than being under Klopp? So maybe he's also.
Well, I got a sneaky feeling that he might join the coaching staff after next season. I got a sneaky feeling he might do that.
So
what else is he gonna do? He's boring James Milner. I mean, he loves football, so you might as well just join his coaching staff.
Yeah, I agree. So I think he's probably got one hand on thinking, it's a win for him. He'll probably get paid a little less. I do think they'll probably lower his wage because his wage is quite high. I think it's at 120 because we signed him on a free all them years ago. So he'll probably get a bit of a lower price, maybe a 90k a week, 80k, and he will probably be told you're going to play a lot of less games, but you can get some badges. You're under Klopp. You can learn off Klopp. And he doesn't play internationally, and he's very, very fit. He's very, very fit. So.
See, that's a good point. Point. See, I think him retiring from international football was probably one of the best things he could do.
Yeah,
and it was a smart move because he knew he was getting up in age, and he'll be able to just stay at Melwood when they go on international duty. But I guess I'll finish with Steven Gerrard.
Yeah.
He extended his pretty much around the same time. In Scotland. So, we've talked about him taking over, and right now I don't really even want to think about that because Klopp is going to be here until 2005. Whatever. So, what did you think about when you heard about the
I'm happy. I followed Gerrard from a stand.
How are they doing in Europa League?
They're doing good. It's the first time they've qualified.
Wow.
Yeah, in about 10 years, 12 years.
Wow.
So they made the Scottish Cup final. They should have won. They were all over Celtic, but they lost one.
I was going to ask you about that. Is that called the Firm?
So
they lost that. They lost it.
In the final, 1-0.
What was the score? Oh, damn.
But the thing people need to realise of Celtic versus Rangers is Celtic have 3 times the amount of money than Rangers. So. Okay. Gerrard is doing a lot better job than people realise. Celtic got relegated. I think it was because they cheated or something a few years ago. So Rangers, Gerrard's actually doing a lot better job than people think. People think, it's always just a 2-horse race. Well, it's not. It's a 1-horse race. Gerrard has made it a 2-horse race again.
So what's their place in the actual Scottish table, though?
I think they're second by 1 point or 2 points.
From Celtic, okay.
Yeah, from behind Celtic. I think my only thing with Gerrard coming to Liverpool is I'd like him to maybe get experience of one more club.
Yeah, I can't help but think about,
Spain or something.
Well, obviously Lampard is doing well, but
yeah,
usually it doesn't really work out too. I mean, maybe you can educate me. Has it been too many managers who played for a club and have done well managing them? Now we had a guy back in the day. Who's the guy that managed us that also played with? Well, it was two guys. Wasn't it Souness and?
Yeah, Souness and Dalglish. Okay, and there was what's his name? The one that Souness did 50-50 with Phil Thompson.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I worry about that a little bit because obviously there's pressure and then you get. I mean, if Gerrard manages Liverpool, he could be doing pretty bad in one spell, and he probably won't get sacked because it's Gerrard.
Like Ali.
I don't know.
Like Ali.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, strangely enough, Ali is kind of doing good right now.
Turned it around. Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. I think it's hard with Gerrard. I think my only concern with Gerrard is it's a massive jump, Rangers to Liverpool. In some ways. So what Gerrard's done the right thing is Rangers is a big job. Off the pitch, Rangers is a massive club. It's not like Lampard going to Derby or Giggs going to Wales or, their stadium is about 55, 60,000 every weekend. Gerrard will walk to the corner shop and people will be, he's a living legend. If Rangers go 3-4 games on the bounce losing, they'll be coming for him. It's a massive club, but he's not playing Champions League football. He's not being able to use tactics against a world-class opposition. And that, for me, is the only concern. Now, I don't think he will go to an English club. I can't imagine him coming against Liverpool, although teams would want him if he continues like this and maybe picks up a trophy or whatever. I think maybe if he was to go to Spain and do something there. But, to answer the question about players needed at their club, usually they don't. Look at Alan Shearer, failed at Newcastle. Roy Keane failed when he went to management at Sunderland. But the big one is Pep Guardiola. He was an Barcelona player, Barcelona captain, and then he took over the Barcelona B team, and then obviously he took over the main team, and the rest is history. So, yeah, I always thought Gerrard was going to go into management. I never thought he'd go into punditry. So, he was a captain as well, and he probably gave some great speeches at halftime and stuff like that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, we will see. And I think what we'll also see is Liverpool continue to win. Final thoughts, man. Obviously you're a Liverpool supporter. That goes without saying. What are your real feelings about this Club World Cup? I don't know how the teams are even involved. I feel like it should, with all due respect with the teams involved, I just feel like it should be pretty clean sailing for us. Are you highly disappointed if we go out to Qatar and don't come back with a trophy? Or are you feeling like, we got bigger fish to fry, whatever?
No, I'll be disappointed.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is why. I think, number one, we've been starved of silverware for 10 years. So I don't think we're in a position to be lifting our nose to any silverware. That's number one. Number two, this is something that isn't easy to win in the sense that you have to win the best trophy, the hardest trophy in the world to get here. Once you get here, you may as well win it. Now, look at Real Madrid. They would win the Champions League. They'll go and win this FIFA club. It's a recognised trophy by FIFA. It counts towards your season, your stats for players, goals, assists. It's counted. You get a gold badge. It's just to solidify ourselves as the greatest team in the world at the moment. You go out, you win everything you play in. Now, I get it's not respected because of the other teams in it. But for me, I want to go win it. I want to win it. There's no two ways around it, to be honest. I want to win it. I'll take it very seriously. And we can't fight off Flamingo. I don't think we can go there and say, we'll definitely beat Flamingo, because Europe don't play against Brazilian teams. So totally, we just don't know it. Like, it's so easy to say, "Oh, we got the better players, the better coaches," but it's, I watched ESPN, which I was bigger in America, and they ranked Flamengo as the third best team on current form in the world right now. And so I think sometimes we disrespect Brazil and but we don't know Brazilians' philosophy. I don't watch any Brazilian football, so if they might be playing from the back and flip flopping it and doing step overs from the back, and we have to put some respect, and I think we should go there. And last time we went, we lost. Last time we played in it, we lost. So, and even I saw an interview with Ferguson, and they were reading out all the trophies he won, and they read out the FIFA club, and this is someone that won 13 Premier Leagues, 2 Champions Leagues, and they still read the FIFA club out as a trophy. So it's not like the Community Shield. It's bigger than the Community Shield. It's bigger than the League Cup. To be honest, it's arguably bigger than the FA Cup. I know English fans will probably say it's not, but so I want to win it. I want to win it definitely. I definitely want to win it, and it looks like Klopp wants to win it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I definitely want to win it too. I just more devil's advocate, just seeing where you were, but I want to win everything we're in. I mean, even this competition against Aston Villa, is it the Carabao Cup?
Yeah,
or whatever it's called. Yeah, I want to win that too. I don't care who's playing. I want to win it, and I expect to win because again, what those kids plus some senior players showed against Arsenal, because I think Klopp would have been happy to lose that game. I hate to say that, but I just feel like he would have maybe not happy, but I think he would have been like, okay, we got some other stuff to fry. So, but I want to win that too. I don't care who's playing. I want to win and that's where Liverpool need to be at, winning every. We see what City did, all the trophies they got besides the Champions League, which they still won't get, I don't think. But and we'll talk about that too. This is the thing when I start talking to you, man. I always want to let you go.
That's no. I've got another hour free, so I'm cool.
Beautiful. So, I want to win it all too, and I think you're right. We got to put respect on some of these teams. Now, part of me, after I said that, I'm rolling my eyes because I'm thinking, yes, the Brazilian team's okay, but these other squads that I've never heard of, again, you can't sleep on them. They're in this competition for a reason. Now, the host nation is in it because they're the host nation. So that's just I don't even know how good they could be. But again, we probably shouldn't be going there with feeling too big headed. But I can't help it. James. This team is just doing too much. Let's talk about Champions League. So we can face Atalanta, Lyon, Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, Borussia Dortmund. Give me in order the I don't know, in your mind, the easiest team or the team you really want to the team you don't want.
Okay, say them again because I know it's Real Madrid, Atletico.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure you remember that. Real Madrid, Atletico, Borussia Dortmund, Atalanta, Lyon. So that's France, Spain.
Yeah.
Italy, Germany. Yeah.
Okay, this is it with me. I personally think, number one, we play better when we play better opposition.
Good point.
If we sit down now and we go through the last 3 seasons in the Champions League, where have our worst performances been? They've been against the shittest teams. They haven't been against Bayern Munich. They haven't been against Barcelona or PSG or Man City. No, they've been against Seville 3-3 2 years ago away from home. They've been against Napoli countless amount of times. Maybe the home game against Porto where we couldn't get a goal. So there's more. If I was to really look at some of the group stages, there's been, we've took a lot of L's in the group stages away from home. So that's number one. So when people are saying, "Oh, Atalanta," I think to myself, I don't know. I don't know how our players would approach Atalanta. Would we take our gas off the foot early? I don't know. So personally, my opinion would be, I don't, Lyon, Atalanta, they're the team. I'd rather not them. Also, we're in the Champions League. I want to be in the Champions League for the biggest game. No one looks back at that Porto for, we beat Porto 5-0. No one brings it up. No one cares because it's Porto. But we always bring up Bayern Munich. Even when we played Roma second leg, we don't really bring that up because it's Roma, but we'll always bring up Barcelona, never bring up, Man City, the Champions League knockout stages. So, me personally, I want Real Madrid. I've said I want Real Madrid. They beat us in the final. I think Atletico Madrid are probably the hardest team just because they're so defensive.
Well, let's talk about that. I'm glad you brought that up because
Yeah.
I don't get that because you're not the first person. I've listened to podcasts. I've seen it on social media.
Yeah.
What's the worrying thing about Atletico? Because to me, if it was a few years ago, maybe, but I just don't see why that's a team that people are like, I want to avoid them. So tell me what your thinking is behind.
Okay, so I think the reason I want to avoid them than the other teams is obviously Atlanta, Leon. Although I said everything about them being weaker, we should beat them on paper and on the pitch. Real Madrid and Dortmund, we are the same as them but better. We play very similar football than them, but we play better football. They kind of believe in a philosophy of a front three. We have a better front three. They believe in kind of attacking fullbacks like Haki and like Marcelo. We have better attacking fullbacks. So for Dortmund and Madrid, I feel like we can match them on philosophy, on player for player, and beat them. Now with Atletico, with Diego Simone, I don't think that's the case. I think they will soak up all the pressure. They will sit back, come to Anfield, and get 0-0. I think that's what could happen.
Okay.
And I'm probably wrong because of Mane, Salah. We will probably
No, but you might be right. That's a good point.
It has happened. Look at Napoli. They came to Anfield. Blank. So, it can happen. And even in the Premier League, obviously this season we're getting through it, but there's been some games where it's been a bit tough, especially last season so that's my number one worry. They're very good defensively. They will soak up all the pressure. And the difference is with them and some of the weaker Premier League teams is they do have the one hitter that could change a game in a minute, like maybe Joao Felix or, they have that one individual in talent. They've got a few. I know Thomas Lemar hasn't found the levels yet, but overall, that for me.
But against Liverpool, he'll play out of his mind. Watch.
Yeah. So that is probably why I'm more worried about them than anyone else. Just because they won't leave themselves open at the back. They won't fly forward and make space. I can imagine them just sitting there and then Diego Simone, he will get through 1-0 over 2 legs, and that would be it. And that's just my only team I'd rather not. But I have anyone, but I'd rather not them. I'd much rather Madrid or Dortmund, and obviously the other 2 teams, which are both everyone wants, Leon or
Yeah, but see, I love what you said about the teams that everyone wants. They're unknowns.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is like you can watch Atalanta all you want, but they're still unknowns because they're just not big teams. So that's always a mystery. Atalanta. I said before the Champions League even started, what they were doing in Italy last year. I was like, this could be a team. I wouldn't say dark horse, but if there was a case for it, you would say them or Lyon, right? What Monaco did a couple seasons ago.
Yeah.
And look at all those players now. Bernardo's gone, Mendy. We got Fab. They're losing all their players. So, I can see the argument now. That's why I asked you. At first, I couldn't because, Atletico, they're just not a team that had Godin and, even, Griezmann and even Torres come up. It's not that same team. But they still could hurt you, obviously.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. They could come to Anfield and grind out a 0-0 or 1-1. But, again, I think the biggest thing people are talking about is them defensively. And for me, they're just not the same defensive. They're still good because Simeone is their manager. But I just, as a Liverpool supporter, I don't trip off of good defensive teams anymore because we've shown more times than not lately that we can get past those teams. Mm-hmm. So, I get why people might be hesitant over Atletico. For me, I'm like you. I said this before. Yeah, I'm ultra confident. Maybe that's a flaw. I don't know. Maybe I'll look silly afterwards. But I'm like, welcome whoever. But I do want Real Madrid so much for obvious reasons. But now, and I respect him, but that bald dude opened his mouth.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes.
And listen, somebody said, "What do you expect him to say?" There's a lot of things he could have said. Klopp would never say that.
Klopp never say that.
Klopp would never say, if we face Madrid, we're going to knock them out. But, okay, that's cool. You were a legend of a player, and as a manager, I got to give you credit, 3 in a row. I get it. But, bruh, I think he's going too far with that. So, I would love to see Real Madrid. That's my pick of the teams.
Definitely. I'm so happy you said that. Because a lot of
Oh, I mean, I would love Madrid. Are you kidding? Now, of course, I'm assuming that if you get Lyon or Atalanta, it should be pretty straightforward. All due respect to them, it should be. But again, with that whole unknown makes me a little bit worried. But I guarantee you, City will get Lyon or
Yeah.
Atalanta.
Oh, yeah.
We all know that. So I can't wait till Monday comes because, mark my words, City won't be getting any big team. They just won't. They
Yeah.
And I don't know who they won their group, so they can. I don't know who they can face.
They're going to get an easy team, yeah.
So, but
I think
again,
they'll get knocked out. I think they'll get knocked out of Europe anyway, eventually.
oh, no question, no question. No. But see, the thing is, I wonder if they're trying to make it. And look, this is all like me just talking. I don't want to assume that there's any tricky stuff going on. But in a world where you can talk about conspiracies, will they try to make it easier for City to make it to the? I mean, they pretty much tried to make it easy for them in the past, but they just haven't done it.
Yeah.
So, I wouldn't be surprised if they get it the easier of the bunch, whatever team that is, and then try to get to the quarters and then semis. But
yeah.
how
much they can be saved. I think as the latter stages happen, there becomes there is no easy choice in the semis usually. They got Tottenham in the quarters. That was an easy fixture to some degree. You'd think they'd have Tottenham up, and then they didn't get Tottenham. They didn't beat them. So a few years ago they got Liverpool, and that was probably seen as an easier team at the time. We hadn't been to a European final in such a long time, and they bottled it against Liverpool. So I think Pep's probably going to leave this summer. I think he'll go. I think he's a scaredy cat. I think as soon as a team catches up with him, he likes to disappear from the league.
I swear you're in my mind. I'm just going to bring up Pep.
Yeah, I can't stand Pep, to be honest. I appreciate what he's done in the league. He raised but when you've got someone like Klopp, they're miles apart. Klopp is stupidly different levels above him in every single way we already mentioned. But people want to be up Pep's arse because he won a Champions League with Iniesta, Xavi, and Messi. Wow, he went to Bayern Munich and won a league with the best team with Robin and Ribery and Lewandowski.
Amen. Preach.
As soon as he won away.
Yeah, I mean, it was so interesting to see, and I know Pep hates it. And Pep's pre-match, because I listened to it, because I'm that kind of guy, for the Arsenal game. Of course, they asked him, Klopp got an extension. What are your thoughts? Yeah. And even if I'm Pep, I'm thinking, motherfucker, why are you asking me about Klopp right now?
Yeah.
But they asked him, and he gave a pretty decent response, the most decent that Pep can be. But I think in his mind, he's thinking, Jesus fucking Christ, man. Yeah. I'm trying to come to England and dominate, and you got this motherfucker coming here.
Yeah.
Because they asked him, they were like, before you came to the city, were you thinking about your rivals? He was like, no, I don't think about that. But he's thinking about it now. He's thinking because he had his rival in Spain with Jose Mourinho. Yeah. But I think no manager will come out and say it, but I'm sure they're thinking they're gonna have him for another 4 years. That Liverpool team. Yeah. It's almost like what people were probably thinking when Pep came to England. Like, okay, how can we defeat this dude? Mm-hmm. I mean, he's just and of course his first season they weren't great. They got top 4, but they didn't really win anything. Yeah. So this will be the first season I think that City. I mean, unless they win a League Cup, they might not get a trophy, bro. I mean, think about that. Under Pep, the greatest of all time for some people, he might not win a trophy this year. Yeah.
Definitely. And even if they win an FA Cup or League Cup, no one gives a shit. They won arguably a quadruple if you want to class the Community Shield last season as well. And who got Manager of the Year? Klopp with 1 trophy. So Pep.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. You just reminded me. They did get a trophy. They got the Community Shield against us. So
yeah. Oh yeah. So this is the thing. Klopp, Pep will know that there's no respect on the FA Cup, on the League Cup, on the Community Shield. No one cares. The footballing gods do not give a shit. That is why Liverpool are scooping up all the awards, the Ballon d'Or, Team of the Years, all of these awards. Man City aren't even close to them, bro.
But isn't it so funny? I don't know if you've noticed this. Every time they interview Pep and they bring up Liverpool, or he brings up Liverpool, he always prefaces his comments with saying, "Well, when we won the league last year, 198 points." I'm like, bruh, that's cool. Let's focus on the future though, here and now. in the future. He loves to bring up the fact that even when we beat them 3-1, he was so livid about everything, the calls. I'm sure you saw his post-match interviews on that.
Yeah.
But he kept on bringing up the fact that he loved how his team played, and it's just funny to see when you look at his face when the people ask him about Liverpool. It's just I love seeing that, man. I love seeing it. Because he even had a little small shot at Klopp, because I think Klopp was saying before the game that the keeper will play. He was like, "No, he'll play. Edison will play." And I think Pep was like, "Well, according to Klopp, but Pep's not. Edison's not going to play." I just love the back and forth between them two in a very quiet, low way. But I think Pep realizes that he's made his match, and not even his match. Someone who could be better than him as far as managing, coaching. I think Pep obviously has it, but when you really break it down and think about managing situations, managing players, I think Klopp is leaps and bounds above him.
Definitely, I think so. And even in Germany, Klopp went to Germany around the same time as Pep, and 2 Champions Leagues, 2 Premier League, Dortmund titles, and then the German League. He went to a Champions League final with a very less superior team at the time. Obviously, these became big names.
Well, who was managing Bayern at that? Because they lost to Bayern, right?
Yeah, was it Pep? I'm trying to think.
I think it was what's the guy's name? Shit.
Who was it after Pep? I can't remember.
I can't think of the guy's name. I can't think of his name. It wasn't Pep though. It was I can't anyway. But I mean, back to the
head record with Klopp is awful. Their head-to-head over the past 7-8 years. Klopp's masterminded him like 8 times over like 4 or something like that. So, and I think it's not just that Klopp has embarrassed Pep. You look at that Champions League 2 rounds. We embarrassed them 3-0 up at home, and then we went to their ground and put 2 away. 5-1. That's an embarrassing result. You spend that type of money, bro. When you're spending £1 billion on a squad, you can't lose 5-1 to a guy that has a front 3 worth 90 mil on paper. Like you can't you can't have 2 fullbacks worth 8 mil combined and lose when you've got Kyle Walker 50 million, Mendy for 50 million, Stones for 50 million, Rodri 70 million. It's embarrassing, and we embarrassed them this season. They came to Anfield 3-1. Whereas they've, I just think, when we lost to them last season, it was 1-0 away from home. Mane's ball should have crossed the line. The only time they've embarrassed us is when we lost Mane in the first 15 minutes for a red card. They beat us 4-5-0. That's the only time, and there's an excuse of the red card. Except for that, we have demolished Pep's team. We have broken them down. We've humbled them on quite a few occasions now. And, I think that's partly why he hates us too, because he doesn't like that. He's like a spoiled brat.
Yeah, I mean, it's just great to see him kind of worming around right now, because there's not much you can say. They keep asking him, is the league over? And he's pretty much just putting his head in his hands saying, yeah, it is. But we'll just keep fighting. We'll just keep trying. It's just so great to see that, because I keep saying it. This season, if Liverpool keep on the way they are, which it seems like they will, taking one game at a time, just keep sweeping guys away, 1-0, 2-0, 5-3, 4-2, whatever, just keep winning games. I don't think you can compare the City 90 or 100 points to this team. You just, especially if we don't lose, which is, bro, let's just be real. I mean, that whole, and this is what Arsenal have to hold on to. Arsenal fans, the only thing they have to hold on to now is that undefeated season. And I know it's a tall task, and it's football, and you can be beat any Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever. But I don't see it, Jamz. I don't know about you, but I don't see it.
Yeah, I pray. Okay, what would you rather, 100 points plus or invincible, but like 98 points?
As long as we win a league, I'd take the invincible.
Same.
I mean, to me, let's be real. The number isn't really important. It's cute to get 100 because that shows you're dominating. But if we win the league and we stay undefeated, I take that. Yeah, I don't care about the number.
Yeah.
But I do think we will get to 100 though. That's just
I want to beat 100. The record's 100. It'd be nice to get 101, 103. Which that I'm more comfortable with getting. I think we will. I honestly think, Aaron.
Real quick. It was Jupp Heynckes who won the
yeah.
who was at Germany when they won in 2003. But yeah, 2013. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I generally think we will get 103 points, 104. Like I said, I think at the moment, if we were to do the second half the exact same, it's like 108. So there might be a few draws. I don't know where. There might be. Invincible, I'm not sure if we'll get it. I really want it. I want it more than the points, 100%. I would love, especially because a lot of my family and friends at Arsenal, that it's, like you said, it's the only thing Arsenal have. And you get a golden Premier League trophy and all that. I'd love it. I'm just worried that, it's such a long season. It could be to any shit team. It could be to Watford away. I don't know. You look this season, and it's like, I look at Old Trafford, Lallana's goal. That was a game where I actually thought by the 80th minute we might not pull this around. Like we might not, but we did. I'm just saying it's a very long season. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I hope to God, if we beat that, that will be the icing on the cake. That would just be whoa.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah,
at the moment, just to cut you in. Lastly, we've won 34 games now. Arsenal have 49. That's the record. 49 for us will be around mid-April. That's
what I'm saying. Like, if and when we break that record, it's not gonna be just like, you just broke it. We're gonna obliterate that record.
Yeah.
It's not even gonna be like you can't even bring up Arsenal anymore. I'm saying once like it's gonna happen. If and when that happens, you can't even bring up Arsenal to say, Arsenal were close. No, we're gonna obliterate that because Arsenal had 12 draws or something crazy. No,
they had 12 draws.
Was it 12? Okay.
Season,
yeah. So, I just don't see it. I mean, I think the Leicester game will be a test. Obviously, the United game is always a test. I'll take a draw there if that's the case, though. City, another test.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think, again, City are just getting caught by teams on the counter. And I love seeing teams actually taking it to City now. Now, part of that is obviously they got some missing guys, mainly Laporte. I mean, you can give me Aguero, you can give me all that. I think the fact that Laporte is in there and that you got to put Fernandinho as a center back is really hurting them. And you see teams like Wolves that's another game that's going to be tough. Wolves and Liverpool, in my opinion. But you see guys teams like Wolves. What's that guy that got the fast dude he has braids now?
Traore.
Yeah, this funny looking guy. But yeah, he's they're doing really well there. They're getting a lot of draws too. But you're seeing teams. I mean, Norwich even took it to them. By the way, what's the score update on that?
1-1.
Okay.
Yeah, they've got an own goal. It's the 48th minute.
Oh, don't tell me that an own goal.
Yeah, own goal.
They didn't even work for it. Damn.
Yeah. So second half started now. So yeah.
Yeah, let me. I'm gonna go tune into that. But look, man, Jamz, always a pleasure, man. I had no idea we would talk this long, but it's always good.
Always. Yeah.
And let's try to link back up. I guess for the Club World Cup, it's the next game for us, right?
Yeah, we got Villa. I think Villa's the day before.
Oh, right. Okay, so we'll link around that time.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, bro.
All right, bro. See you.
All right, so.